What's going on, guys? Matt here, and welcome back to another episode of What If Ming Didn't Exist in EU4. Picking up with the War of Uchi and Huanan. Tian Shu owning a huge chunk of China, same with Nagachai, Huanan, and these guys. I'm not going to try anymore. Wu Ding has made a reappearance. Some French, Ottomans, Manchu, Spain, releasing Dante, and now Japan is the smallest faction on the Japanese mainland. Some Spanish people over here with Ming separatists. We might see a rise of Ming again. And Portugal down here, the Ottomans taking Taiwan. Over here in India, we got Vijayanagar and Delhi. Ottomans owning a lot, including up into Russia. Russia owning a lot of Sweden. UK at war with the Netherlands again and losing. Japan retook a little bit, including some up here, so they managed to push back. Great Britain's going into the Philippines. Same with France. So everybody's just kind of grabbing everything that they can. The Ottomans are down here. Ayutthaya, or however you pronounce that. I'm just going to call it Siam. It's down over in here with some Milan colonists. And we have a resurgence of Ming. So maybe Ming can come and take it back in the next 100 years and regain all of its lost territories. With 1 truce and 0 allies. So let's just see what happens. Maybe Huanan will go after him real quick, retake that land, and get to keep the money and the territory that they got from Spain. Russia has now completely cut China and the Chinese, the Oryats, and Manchu off from the rest of Siberia, pretty much leaving it free game for their colonists to run through and grab up all this land. Ming was just occupied briefly, and now they're a vassal of Huan. And it's gone. Ottomans owning this little tiny piece of land down here. Great Britain gaining this one. Who's at war with Poland, Spain, Florida, all them people. Huanan going after Manchu along with Huanhua. That's how I pronounce that, Huanhua. Going after Manchu as well. And probably consolidate up this Korean peninsula here, and then they'll push more into Manchu. Might even see a war against Russia at some point, being as they are pushing over here, and might try to push up into Siberia, take over some of this land, the Kamchakdals, the Chukchi, the Kodent, and the Chavshini. Yeah, Manchu's getting railed. Japan trying to hold its own against Uchi. Uchi owning almost more than half of the Japanese mainland. Spain owning about 1/4 of it. Tian Shu not really doing much. Has a truce timer with Kathmandu. Transoxiana, just a small fragment of its once great power. Same with the Timurids. Spain actually controlling Rome. Did not notice that. Mecklenburg being occupied by Poland. Who are they fighting? Saloon separatists. Just up here. And then, obviously, Huanhui. Manchu's actually over in their territory. And Morocco is buying territory in China for charter companies. Interesting. Would be cool to see a European power take over most of China. Most of China. Li Jiang gaining a little bit of power over here. It'd be really funny if Spain... Ooh, there we go. There's the peace treaty. They took everything that they could, and Huanan got pretty much the short end of the stick. Russia continuing to colonize. But like I was saying, it'd be pretty funny to see Spain take all of Japan and then push through, you know, Korea. It'd be pretty funny. Let's take a look at the ledger real quick. Who has the biggest army? At 324,000, that's rebels. The Ottomans have 302,000 soldiers and can have has a force limit of 349. That is insane. That is just overpowered. That is insane. Second is Spain at almost 100 less than them. Jesus, that is insane, the amount of divisions and units that they can have. Jesus. Ottomans allied with a bunch of African nations. What's Wuding up to? Allied to Japan, and their independence is guaranteed by Portugal. Excellent. So Wuding will probably survive a small amount of time. Mongol separatists rising up, trying to do their thing. Saloon separatists in Russia. Ming just not really being Ming. Korea, with no allies. Huanan could be smart and just take them completely out right here. Tianshu, just sitting. Oryat has a truce with Chagatai, but has no allies. Maybe they can come in and take some land before Russia gets a hold of it. And Tianshu maybe push into Transoxiana. Kind of push away from Ming, just to grab some extra land. Right now, it looks like Huanan is in Korea and a lot of the Chinese coast. And they do have Ming as a vassal, which I'm going to say is a plus on their side. But based on size alone, ooh, Saloon making a reappearance in Russia. So now, if Manchu manages to attack them, they could regain some access to the Siberian colonial area. But as I was saying, I'm pretty sure that Huanhu and Trian Shui are going to be the two competitors for who actually takes Ming's place. Just with them owning so much of Western and Central China, and them owning all of the North and into Manchu and everything. Mostly going to be Tianshu because they own the most original Chinese territory, like size-wise. But they could change before 1821 because that's where I'm in this series. What's France doing? France is at war with a bunch of people in India. And Huanan managed to make a landing in Japan against Uchi. They have a 4 stack, and it's gone. They have a 37 stack over here sieging Kyoto, which is the capital fort of Uchi. Interesting. I would have thought Uchi's capital would be in Uchi, where it originally started, not Kyoto. And there they go. They siege down Kyoto. Having to deal with some Udegi separatists. Saloon has a truce with Russia and a reconquest against a whole bunch of people. And they're improving relations with Ottomans and the Spanish, so we'll see how that plays out. Maybe a peace deal will be struck with Uchi, giving some of the Japanese lands to Huanan. Maybe not. Milan buying more land from Negaichao. France dealing with Vijayanagar and their colonial regions. Hormuz almost completely occupied by the Ottomans. The Ottomans might consolidate Arabia. Dang, even over here they're occupied by Vijayanagar. And there we go. Uchi just getting destroyed by Huanan. Some more saloon separatists in Manchu. And Japan was given back some territory during that peace deal, and Huanan took some Japanese forts on this little island down here. Ryuku's dead. I didn't even notice that. Uchi went and took out Ryuku. And Uchi's at war with Japan, trying to take back what they lost in the last peace deal. Korean separatists in Huanan's Korean territories. And some calm separatists in Trianshui. Spain buying another piece of land over here in China. So now they own one here, this area in Japan, and then over here towards Beijing. Where is Beijing? Right here. So this is Beijing. I don't think anybody's going to buy that from the Chinese, though. We have some Yan separatists rising up, trying to take back what's theirs. Japan, looking like they're getting their butt kicked, so Uchi's probably going to take this back and then take a little bit more. And then maybe Uchi will turn into the new Japan. Or maybe we'll have two Japans. I said something about that a couple videos ago. Still be pretty funny. Spain occupied by Japan. They're at war. So Japan liable to lose even more land now because they decided to attack the Spanish. Yan separatists. Not any real major wars going on between the four main powers here anymore, just because they're pretty much all allied with each other. Just kind of sitting and waiting. Surprised Li Zhang hasn't been knocked out by these guys yet. And then Manchu has a truce timer with everyone until 5 years from the current date. But again, Huanan could go after Korea. There's not a truce timer. Go ahead and take the rest of that. Same thing with Wuding. I mean, they're guaranteed by... Or are they no longer guaranteed? And they're completely just taken by the Spanish, and I think the Spanish vassalized them. No? Unless it's just happened in a... Yep, there it goes. And Jesus Christ. Spanish Japan, Uchi, and Huanan, a Chinese major, is all that's left of Japan besides for this little tiny island. Or this, not island, but this little tiny province right here of Japan that's allied with Wuding. And I'm surprised that Uchi doesn't declare themselves as Japan. Saloon being occupied by Huan Hui. Maybe they'll annex this and try to colonize up. Yep, they annexed it. I want to see what their idea groups are. Defense, quantity, admin, trade, economic, and defense. Okay, so they haven't gone colonialism yet. But now they have this little bit more. So now if they went after Manchu, they'd have them completely surrounded. Spain could definitely go after Uchi, being as they don't have a truce timer. The Philippines getting a whole bunch of anguish. Britain going completely after Indonesia. Australia and New Zealand completely occupied by Spain. Some date separatists in Spain. It's not too much to worry about. I think Spain can handle it. They're a pretty big powerhouse. Ottomans almost owning all of Arabia. And even going into this area and Georgia. France still holding a line against Burgundy. For some reason, the Burgundy event hasn't fired. Holy crap, the Netherlands just pushed all the way up into Denmark and into Norway. Iceland's a thing. Spain pretty much owns all of the like southern and central US. Portugal owning the west coast. So yeah, Spain and Portugal are the main colonizers. Great Britain's doing a little bit, but it's mostly in Indochina. And everybody has a piece right here except Britain. Got Ottomans, Portugal, Morocco, Spain, France. Manchu for some reason. The Netherlands even joining in. And then Austria buying out Ming. So now Ming's gone. Saloon separatists rising up in Manchu again. And trying to in Huanhua. Spain going after these guys in pretty much Siam, along with Portugal. So the Iberians are apparently in a pact. Let me actually look at that. Yep, the Iberians are working together. And now Spain's going to probably get a huge chunk of all of this and rival Great Britain down here in Indochina. Especially now owning all of Australia. Don't have to worry about anything there. And yep, they took all of this. So now Spain is pretty much France during the beginning of World War II, where they just owned Vietnam. I don't think this is going to be the last video of this series, but if it is, I will announce a winner at the end of it. If we hit 1821 in this video, I'm going to stop at 30 minutes, but if we're at like 1810, 1815, I'm just going to let it run over until we hit it. But if we're not even into the 1800s by the time we get to 30 minutes, we're going to do a second video, or a final video. It's going to be a little bit shorter, but I'm going to try to extend it out by doing the actual, up to January 1st, 1821, and then I'm going to go through military, navy, territory, stuff like that of everybody in the world, doing like top 10s. And then I'm going to do who actually won at the end. Like who I think became the Ming of this parallel universe. And then we'll go into the next EU4 series that you guys have voted on my Twitter. If you haven't checked out my Twitter yet, please go follow me on Twitter. I was about to say subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube, but follow me on Twitter, because when stuff like this is happening where I'm about to end a series, I like to go up there and I like to, ask, hey, what would you guys like to see next? I put out a poll. For instance, when I finished my Germany Hoi 4 series, I put out a poll about what you guys wanted to see next, and the poll was tied between Japan and a fascist UK. So I went and I broke the tie, and I went with fascist UK, and then when I finish that, I'm going to put out another poll, like, hey, what would you guys like to see next? Like, what would you like to see after that? And I think the options for this one were a French world conquest, an Ottoman world conquest, another What If series, because I know you guys seem to like this one, and then it was a revival of Muscovy / Russia, because the last one that updated, I couldn't get into it, and then by the time I figured out, thanks to GeoGame99, that you could go back, I had already deleted the save, thinking that I couldn't ever play it again, so it's kind of messed up, but is what it is. But like I said, I put a poll up there. It only lasted for like 2 days. I only do them for 2 to 3 days. I don't want them to last like 5 weeks, and then by the time I do it, people are still voting, so I only do it for a couple of days. So yeah, go check my Twitter out. Pretty much nothing has changed so far. Just a bunch of separatists. Surprised that Huanhui hasn't gone after Manchu yet, being as that they're only allied with the Kamchuk dolls. And Korea is still allied to no one. And Russia just trying to take Siberia. Sweden trying to hold its own against pretty much everyone pushing into it. Surprised the Burgundy event hasn't fired. Switzerland's actually pretty big. Milan trying to form Italy. The Ottomans are the only thing stopping Russia from actually holding pretty much all their holdings in Europe to modern, like not modern day, but 1821. And Uchi going after Korea before Huanan has a chance. Yan has made it has risen again in Spanish China. Spanish Indochina is now a thing. Down here they took some more of this land. And the Netherlands are even here in a couple places. France, you know, Austria trying to get in on it. Spanish Malaya. And British Indonesia and all this area. Some Spain, some Netherlands. Pretty much just a war of the colonies. Spain grabbing this one little tiny province right here. Netherlands grabbing this. So now they are officially in China as well. And there we go. Uchi just took over all of Korea. So now they have a mainland border with Huanan. And in the event that they go to war again, that's going to be where the main fight is. Spain is dealing with a lot of different separatists. And Satake, one of the Japanese miners, has actually come back. The world is starting to slow down a little bit. Great Britain dealing with some Bruni separatists, Austria even being here. Luckily for Spain, they don't have to deal with separatists here in Terra Austral. The Ottomans are actually even over here. Interesting, I didn't notice that. On Papua New Guinea, I think is this island. Am I right? Oh, this is wasteland. Holy crap. Yeah, I think this is Papua New Guinea. Let me see. Areas. And then regions. No. Moluccas? I thought it was Papua New Guinea. Apparently I was wrong. I'm surprised these guys didn't go for colonial efforts and try to colonize into Siberia before Russia could. Would have made them a lot bigger. Would have secured their place a little bit better, but I guess they don't know that they're fighting for, you know, control of China. Ye separatists. And I forgot to mention Yan's gone. Uchi going to war with Manchu and occupying this one little area. So Uchi has turned its attention away from Spain. Is going after Uchi. But they're guaranteeing Japan. So if Japan goes to war with Spain again, then they're gonna get called in. I don't think Manchu's gonna be able to stop this Uchi invasion. Landed here again. We'll see what happens. I think Manchu's gonna lose and Uchi's gonna take at least this part of the island up here. This is all colonizable. Surprised they haven't yet, like I've been saying. Spain is dealing with separatists everywhere. Ottomans are actually being a colonial power, which isn't like them usually in games like this. Like, usually they don't do this. And Uchi is at war with Huanan again, while fighting Manchu. So Uchi's in a double war. They're at war with Manchu and the Kimchak dolls, and Huanan and Huan Hui. Pretty sure going to lose that because they've just lost all of their Korean holdings. Huh. Huan Hui occupied by Japan way over here inland. Congratulations on that one, I guess. So maybe Huanan will take all of Korea. Or release them, let them be a puppet, and then by 1821 they'll own all of China. Maybe I'll be right at the end. Who knows? It does not look like we're going to hit the 1800s before the 30-minute mark, though, so there might be a couple more episodes of this, or at least one more. There's going to definitely be at least one more episode of this. The Ottoman, or no, that's date, has been released here. Can't wait to see this peace deal. We'll see what Huan An gets out of it. Or is this a way in like peace deals, like, hey, I'll give you these back in exchange for a war score, and then I'll take more over here. So like if you want all of Korea but you didn't want these actual Chinese holdings, you could be like, look, I'll get, or the Japanese holdings, you'd be like, look, I'll give you the 2 Japanese provinces, but I want all of Korea since I kicked your ass there. You know what I'm saying? What's Wuding up to? Just chilling. They're allied with Japan, making cannons for no apparent reason. Islands of Ryukyu were barricaded or blockaded for a little bit. Uchi had to release Bungo. So we're starting to see the emergence of some of the Japanese miners again. We might go back to a feudal Japan before the end of this, if enough unrest happens. Ooh, Austria occupying the Ottomans' colonial area down here in Indonesia. Interesting. Pretty much everyone everywhere is just trying to get anything that they can. Frame rates are dropping a little bit just because of so much that's going on. Getting real late into the game. The Huanan and Uchi war is just kind of at a stalemate. I don't think Huanan is going to make any type of invasion. I don't know, they're trying to blockade some of Japan. Okay, and there's the peace deal. Uchi took back that 1 province. Down here at the bottom. Portugal now owning 2 provinces in China. 3 actually, but 2 together at the top here. Boom, boom. Apparently have a truce with Wuding. Oh, because they're allied with Japan. Japan attacked them. Yep. But we are reaching about that time, guys. So I think this is where I'm going to call it here on January 2nd. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, comment again who you think is going to win. Like, still anybody's game. Who's going to be, you know, the new Ming. And subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys in the next one.